Hi everyone, it's Kay here. Thank you for joining me today while I participate in Friday Book Haul. Now, I've only got one very special book to share that I've hauled from another place, but I'm going to show you some more of my children's books. My books from my childhoods. So I've showed you some of the Enid Blyton Storytime books that I've got before in colour. I've got this one. Now, I think I've got a feeling I've shown you this one. 1965. So just a old book with pages in it, and I don't know whether I'll use this for journals or whether I'll just keep keeping it, or I don't even know if they're the same stories that were in the big ones with the colour pictures I showed you. I don't think it's the same. Yeah, perhaps I could. I tell you, I've kept some of these books for so long. I reckon that story was in one of those ones I showed you last week before, with Enid Blyton Storytime with the kite in it. I reckon that was in there. Anyway, I was saying this. I've just kept these books for so long. I don't know if I could cut them up, pull them apart. I just don't know if I could do that. I don't know why. It's not as if I could read them. It's 1964, this one. So obviously I lost the dust jacket a long time ago, but I've still got the cover. It's lovely, pretty good condition. Another well looked after book. These next two are not so well looked after. This one is children's animals being stuck with masking tape to hold it together. It's a bit sad, this one. 1964 as well, so if I showed you this one as well, I reckon I have. To Kay from Linda. I said you didn't know who Linda was. I did, sorry. I've forgotten to show you that one. But no, I haven't shown you this one. Sooty's Adventures. Christmas present for my Auntie Val and Uncle Howard, who live in Britain. So Sooty, for those people who don't know, is a puppet. Sweep. So there's Sooty and Sweep with puppet shows. Very famous puppet show. It's got lovely colours in it. It's a bit grotty around the edges. I don't know how to clean those. If I don't know if I should just leave them the way they are. It's beautiful colours. It would be fun to put in a journal. Lovely, that looks lovely. If I've shown you these before, I'm so sorry. My memory is like a sieve. I don't think they did. Apple dumplings. I don't think I've shown you this one. They seem to go in for that because these are monochromatic pictures back in the 60s. Not all colours, but just different colours for different pages, blue, red, green, and this sort of red, blue, red. Seems to be red and blue, this book. I've obviously worked out what the code was, puzzle letter. It's green in this one. Yellow. I like that one. The picture of the farm, the Great New Farm Journal. Back to front writing. Got more yellow. See the coal man delivering coal. Wouldn't see that anymore. Coal man delivering coal. Sooty's Day at the Zoo. Obviously did all the puzzles. Who stopped PC Nab's helmet? And there's the answers to the puzzles and more colour pages. The colour pages are different to the black and white pages. They're different. This is thin, this is thick. So the colour pages are on thinner, but that's why they look a bit grubby. I love the colours. Sooty paints his house. Calico Joe was always the bad guy. Ooh, this must have been from one of my other books I had. So, the reason why I grabbed this, because I thought I wouldn't take very long to show you the very special book that I got. Probably paid way too much for it, but I think it was meant to be, because Jolly Days in the Country. What happened was, a few months ago, I did a market down at Semaphore, and which is about half an hour away from here, Bud Beach. And I went to the op shop afterwards, and they had this book, and I thought, oh, I'm not paying that. That's just way too much. So then I regretted it for the whole 3 weeks afterwards. We went down there that time, and I just went back into the shop to have a look at it again, and this was gone. I thought, oh, somebody's got it. It's gone now. Well, I went there the other day, and it was back, and I'm thinking, I think I need to get this book, because I'll be kicking myself. And I picked it up, looked at it, had a really good look at it, had a really think about it, put it back. Oh, I thought, oh no, I'll be kicking myself if I didn't get it, because I'll show you why. This is a 1946 book for a friend of mine who is collects books as a hobby. Did some research for me, and he thinks it was published in 1938, and thinks it's a very rare book, because when I went looking for it on the internet, I couldn't find it anywhere. Nowhere. I could see the pictures for sale for some American company. They're called a lithograph for sale, because the paper itself is really an interesting texture, but it's got these wonderful pictures. Some of them I can actually relate to the stories, but I've got, see, that one there relates to this story here. So there are a few little tears, but not very many. But I cannot find where these two pictures belong, what story they belong to. I probably belong to the story here still. They've got the reds and the yellows and the blues. And for it to be 1938, between the two wars, it would have been, was it before the Depression or after the Depression? So this book would have been a very expensive book to buy, I think. It's just beautiful. Look at the pictures. The elephant goes shopping. And there's the elephant that's been shopping. That's funny. See, and this one here belongs to the story about the donkey. There is this big rip here. That picture belongs to this story. And you can see the boys and girls playing different games. And when this person said to me it was 1938, published in 1938, I had a really good look at it and thinking, you know, it's hard to, because children were clothed differently from adults, so it's a bit hard to tell. See, there's a big bit of a rip there. I don't know how to fix that. This is lovely with the handwriting on it. The ostrich has a frightful appetite. A gulp and down his neck the whole thing goes without a bite. There are others to be fed. It's quite a hungry place, as you may see by samples of the whole human race. The bears seem hungry all the while, asking for ever with a smile for things to eat. The tiger greets the meals brought in with growl and roar and fearful din. The elephant, huge, ponderous and wise, takes a bun, a penny, what you will, and winks thank you with his eyes. See, that language is quite adult-like. Would a child really actually understand the words of that? Really? Again, some beautiful pictures. I couldn't find stories for those two either. The pictures, because they're not next to the story. They seem to be the two pages together, and then can't find those stories. Two different stories there. Isn't it? Look, it's so different. But the fairies. Let's go rip in that as well. have to look to see how I can fix it. Some good nursery rhymes. Sing a song, sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. So it just feels sort of grainy, and I don't know if these actually are lithographs either, the pictures, because this firm in America was selling these lithographs, so they took copies of them, blew them up and selling them. They weren't cheap. That was the only information I could find on this book. I couldn't find anything. So I asked this person I know who collects books, and he did a bit of research. He said there's not a lot on it out there, but from what I can understand, it was published in 1938, so it's a particularly very old book, and I've never seen such an old book with such beautiful colours in it. So even though I paid a lot for it, he was telling me it's worth a lot more than what I paid, so it'll be sitting on my shelf. I might scan some of the pages to use, because I won't be cutting this one up for my journals. I'll just probably scan some of the pictures to put in my journals, because for that I don't think there's any copyright. So look. No, there's no copyright. Gorgeous. That's another nursery rhyme. Parrots. We've got a picture of parrots. Oh, maybe it's to do with the story here about making a home. Honesty is the best plasma. Plenty to eat. Yeah, because you look at his babies, so yes, 1940s, yeah. Friends. The doctors are playing games. I wonder which story they belong to. So you can see that these pictures don't belong to that story. They don't belong to this poem. I just can't work out what they are for. But they're still beautiful to look at. Isn't that gorgeous? Gorgeous. So she's wearing a long dress. And she's wearing a shorter one. So you can see why it could be 1938 maybe, because she's in the country they were always behind. They just wore what they had, what they could afford, recycled things. Oh, so she's the way she's got a cloche hat on. So yes, I can see why that would be 30s. Dragon, isn't that beautiful? Look at the colour. It's just stunning. It's gorgeous. This is gorgeous too. This is the piggy went to market. This is the piggy stayed home. That's gorgeous. Clever Mrs. Duck. There's lovely, lovely illustrations for this little rhyme. Sleigh ride. Rainy day. See, where is the sleigh ride? What stories are it related to? I think I'm going to have to really go through it very carefully and work out what pictures go with what stories, or whether the pictures are just there because for fun, for enjoyment, for just to, I don't know. It's just, they're just so beautiful. Look at this. That's very, with a pin tucking and a kind of car. This Asian type picture. Castle. Good weather for ducks. So maybe it was just for fun, like good weather for them. Good weather for ducks. Because it's good weather for ducks when it's raining. Swinging on the gate. Dirty ship. The pirate. So there's mainly the main primary colours they used. Green, blue, red, sorry, yellow. Lazy traveller. That's funny. That's funny. That is related to that story here. Who takes the gooseberries? So perhaps there is a page missing because that's a story. Oh no, it's a little story. That's interesting, a square story. There was once a square dog who lived in a square kennel in a house in Sloane Square. His master was a square man, but he was poor. So poor that he could not square his butcher. In other words, pay him up front, pay him so he was all square. So the poor dog never had a square meal. Very funny. Very funny. So there are some rips. I don't know how. I'll have to look to see how I can fix it. It is a this is cloth here, and that's cardboard there. So it's just beautiful, and I'm just glad I picked it up because this is just so gorgeous. And apparently there's a whole set of these Jolly Days in the Country books, and they're all published by this company from Scotland in Glasgow called Blackie. So if you're an English person, or a British person, I should say, beg pardon, somebody from Scotland who knows about Blackie and knows about these kind of books, let me know. That'd be wonderful, because there's not much information on the internet about this book. Thank you very much for joining me today. Please join me next time. We'll see you then. Bye bye.